Ladies and gentlemen, good evening.
Have you ever wondered what a mermaid might look like if she turned up on the same show that gave us a Lovecraftian ghoul, a restless druid statue, and whatever the hell this thing is? Well, brace yourselves, because today on our Night Gallery Spotlight, we're diving into another unhinged segment, Lindemann's Catch.
Let me read the tea leaves for you, Captain. Ooh.
This one's about a lonely fisherman and his very unique relationship with a mermaid. Those of you familiar with this segment already know. Some of the imagery here lingers in your brain long after the credits roll. And I should mention, Lindemann's Catch is so out there, it even triggered something the crew called the Great Nipple Investigation. But we'll get to that point of interest soon enough. Directed by Jeff Corey and written by Rod Serling, Lindemann's Catch aired in Season 2, Episode 16 on January 12th, 1972, alongside The Late Mr. Peddington and A Feast of Blood.
Painting number 1, having to do with fishermen and what they fish for. Or, more specifically in this case, a fisherman and what he wasn't fishing for. What appeared in his net one afternoon defies logic, reason, and belief. But there it was, Lindemann's Catch.
Our story opens in a foggy New England seaport in the early 1900s. From the dreary docks to the gloomy local tavern, the atmosphere is thick with despair. A fitting vibe for this story.
Filthy night.
Up front, we meet Captain Hendrik Lindemann, as played by Stuart Whitman. Fresh off another miserable trip out to sea, Lindemann is quick to drown his bitterness and sorrow in whiskey, much like everyone else in this sad corner of the world. But Lindemann's alone time is interrupted by Suggs, an oddly likable fortune teller who hustles potions and palm readings in exchange for drinks.
Many a pretty picture's painted in the bottom of a cup for a man.
Suggs pesters Lindemann, and that goes about as well as you'd expect.
Now this is what your fortune is, Mr. Suggs, where a man spits.
So, up to this point, the dialogue here from our players is classic Rod Serling. Crisp, sharp, and poignant as ever. And as anyone who's ever spent time with someone nursing a drink knows, even depressed drunks can still be surprisingly philosophical. Especially in this case if they happen to be spouting dialogue written by Rod Serling.
Shall we love the sea, even though it frightens us, and ages us, and in time kills us? And yet we still go out every morning to embrace her.
Captain.
Needless to say, when our mysterious mermaid is hauled aboard Lindemann's vessel, the story picks up momentum.
Did you see, Captain?
The actual introduction of this mythic creature into this grounded setting was handled very well. And credit where it's due, one moment I loved here was when we see the mermaid reach out to Lindemann. A compelling starting point for their oddball relationship.
Barnum himself couldn't come up with anything to equal this.
Off the bat, Lindemann instantly faces pressure over what to do with this mermaid. Some say she should be returned to the sea, and others say she should be put on display, which is cruel and awful, but sadly realistic within this setting.
We could keep her alive. We could keep her on exhibition.
However, what I found especially interesting was as the tale progresses, our bitter captain shows glimmers of humanity. And this is noteworthy considering he's hostile as hell toward the mermaid when he first encounters her. However, we soon learn not only does he want to save her from dying, he even develops a very deep bond with this lady of the sea. On this point, I will say the emotional connection between Lindemann and the mermaid could have used a bit more fleshing out. He goes from being blatantly antagonistic toward her to seemingly being in love within the space of a commercial break.
She is human.
3 nights ago you said she was a nightmare, a monster.
And on the flip side, it's never entirely clear if the mermaid has fallen for him as well, or has she put him under some weird mermaid spell. In any case, eventually our fortune teller Suggs comes back into the picture.
What do you take pleasure at?
From helping. I take pleasure from helping.
He offers the now desperate Lindemann a potion, which he claims will transform the mermaid's fish half into human legs. The thing is, I've seen enough Night Gallery and Twilight Zone to spot certain twists coming.
She's no creature, no reptile. She's a woman.
Sure enough, the potion doesn't go as expected. Meaning, the mermaid does get her human lower half, but her upper half, well, that's a different story. Predictable or not, this was a killer reveal. The fact that the mermaid had her half swapped and is now a gill-faced monstrosity is something I'm sure was scorched into the brains of Night Gallery fans for all eternity. With that in mind, I'll leave this sexy beast up here a little longer, just so any of you newer fans can really take it in. Okay? Anyway, in the aftermath of this disturbing reveal, the mermaid escapes. Lindemann then dives in the water after her, never to be seen again. Well done, Night Gallery. Another bleak ending. Now, even though I saw this twist coming, the ending was still very effective. The mere sight of this creepy, fish-faced woman was very well executed. Interestingly, according to Rod Serling's Night Gallery and After Hours tour, the production team wasn't completely happy with the monster's final appearance, and they thought the wig needed to go. I think I agree on that point, but I still love the look of this creature. I don't know, maybe it's something only horror fans and seafood lovers can appreciate.
Captain Lindemann, maybe the cards will offer up a better fortune for you.
As far as the cast goes, Harry Towns was terrific as Suggs. He kept things lively and was unpredictable. Honestly, it feels like a bit of a missed opportunity not to hint at darker motives when it comes to this character. After all, why wouldn't he want some payback against the captain who smacks him around?
You pour this down the mouth of that creature you have down there, and by dawn, she'll walk on two legs.
That creature you caught in your net, no one's seen her since you brought her in.
Jack Aronson also makes a strong impression here as Dr. Nichols. He's a much-needed voice of reason in this bizarre scenario.
Well, you know what has to be done. You've got to throw her back.
And then there's Annabelle Garth as the mermaid. Although she doesn't have any dialogue, she still gives a strong depiction of this unusual mythic creature. You genuinely want to see her set free. Garth actually had a tough time on this shoot. She caught bronchitis while filming her scenes on the Universal lot. Apparently it was cold and raining, and she was wearing basically nothing but a fake fishtail. Speaking of wearing next to nothing, I guess we may as well follow up on the great nipple investigation I mentioned earlier. So, for this particular episode, which happened to feature a half-naked fish lady, you can bet network standards and practices were uptight. But apparently they were so overly cautious, they insisted that the segment featured a nipple. Thus, the great nipple investigation began, which entailed playing the film back and forth repeatedly and slowing down the more questionable footage for review. In the end, it turned out the supposed nipple was just a rough spot on the actress's elbow. So, there you go. This one is 100% certified nipple-free. But, supposedly, if you pause at just the right time, you can see at least 3 nipples on this thing. Nipple talk aside, let's give some props to our lead, Stuart Whitman, who also did very well here. Whitman had a lengthy career appearing across a variety of TV shows and movies. Aside from his second appearance in the Season 3 Night Gallery segment Fright Night, I also remember him as Pa Kent from Superboy. Bonus points to anyone who remembers that show. Here, Whitman was perfect as the bitter, soul-crushed Captain Lindemann. Sure, he's rough around the edges and prone to violence, but to the actor's credit, I think he displays just enough humanity to make you root for him.
She speaks to you?
Not in words or language, but she makes herself understood.
On that note, there's a long history of men falling in love with mermaids spanning across literature, art, and pop culture, all of which is rooted in ancient folklore and mythology. The most famous example being Hans Christian Andersen's The Little Mermaid, which of course was reimagined by Disney. But stories like these, where mermaids become involved with humans, can range from lighthearted to downright dark. Obviously, we know which route Rod Serling chose to go. But that's exactly why I love Serling's spin on this myth. And I also like that it doubles as an offbeat cautionary tale about the dangers of messing with the natural world, or in this case, the supernatural world. Either way, tempting fate in these parts leads to a watery grave.
Anything to add?
What about a palm reading?
Let me take a look at the tea leaves for you.
Despite a few minor missteps, Lindemann's catch is well worth a watch. I'm curious to hear what you all think of this one. As for me, I'd give Lindemann's catch a solid 3.5 out of 5 mermaids. Thanks as always for watching, everyone. If you've seen Lindemann's catch, you know what to do. Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Until next time, take care, be well, and as for me, I'm suddenly in a mood for some tuna. Later.